Okay. You see, good afternoon, everyone. It was a tough time, but we are doing it with a good way. Most important, I tried to explain this afternoon is also part of things I already mentioned for the past. So, first of all, I watched some programs and channels in Zoo Nigeria's. You know, they misunderstand the fact that Abakari, I want to advise him to be able to to go straight to the truth that the whole institution of Nigeria made him like this is the corrupting and that is the system they rule as a government. Then you know that everyone is is involved. So then all of you can be facing the case. But if you hope that FBI is joking, I thought you people also hoping that British was sleeping, wasting time, that he done something wrong already, that kidnap someone in, that is not a citizen of a country. So I'm trying to inform the media to understanding that Nigeria don't have any power to stop a decision of arrested Abakari. So they misunderstand the fact. So this is a criminal case. So the same criminal case also Abakari is concerned had adopted Mazen Nankan because also he's the one he's signed. He's the one he's the in charge of the people Mazen Nankan was in their hand DSS. So other things collaborate too much because we have already double evidence against Abakari. So Abakari advise you to stand up and tell the world how you people killing all the Eastern peoples, how you people motivate people to be 419s, how you people adopted fake movies of Nigerians to believe that, how you people are suspecting and picking the guys who make money, Igbo peoples making money to get allegation, how you people take license from all the richest Igbo people, how you people script all the Igbo people and the Yoruba peoples to cannot be in any important power. How you people dividing the law of British give Nigeria, put it to Islam, not even Islam is right, put it in Fulani law. So all this is something you have to expand up. So the answer to save you is you have to tell them clearly, we are doing this to Fulanize Nigeria. So now it doesn't work, so it's not my own charge alone. Now Biafra will go their way. And immediately to release the situation and criminal charge you use over Gas Maznan can immediately. That is the only advice I want to advise you. And at the same time, I'm coming back to speak to the British Parliament in the sense of their law, how to take it very, very, very serious because something is going on concerning in the system, how the politics are playing on in the world. So I think they are lacking behind. They are looking suspicious. The world looking them suspicious, you know. So we have to take it more serious them to focus, but I will talk about that later. But the most important also, I like you people to hear some kind of the negative, positive news, because for me it's negative because everything he says, Mazdan can already said it, but why is it negative that what he say can never work in Nigeria? Only two work can work from this thing you want to hear from this man. His only thing gonna work is only to divide Nigeria, and people can have dignity and their conscience and their life back again, both in the region, in anything. Okay, let's listen to the man.
I remember when I was sworn in as Chief Economic Advisor.
Let me go important place. The most important.
Former President. Second, third, fourth national development plans. We've also had the structural adjustment program. We've had all kinds of plans, all designed to diversify the economy, all designed to restructure the economy away from dependence on oil.
To understand it.
But we're still tied to the, if you like, to the life support of the oil sector. It hasn't happened. And now we're still talking about the same thing. Every government in Nigeria has implemented its own version of restructuring, diversification. And I'm going to argue here that if you want to change a persistent economic structure, you have to change the underlying institution. If you want to change a persistent economic structure, change the underlying economic institution. Our experience with the needs proves this, ladies and gentlemen. When we were drafting the needs agenda, we realized that we've been parroting private sector-led economy in Nigeria for decades. But we realized that we didn't have the requisite institution, financial institution. Without the requisite financial institution, you couldn't have a private sector-led economy. And so we recommended, I think on page 75 of the needs document, that we should have a recapitalization or consolidation of the banks. When I became governor of the central bank, we had 89 rickety banks, all of which put together were less than the number 4 bank in South Africa. If you needed $500 million to do an investment in Nigeria, you needed to syndicate it from all the banks put together. You couldn't talk about a private sector-led economy. It was just a slogan. So we decided that you needed a new institution. And that new banking institution was the consolidation of the banking sector. And what was the result? After the consolidation, we raised the capital to approximately $200 million then, and then the race to the top led to bigger and bigger banks to begin to emerge. And after that, our banks are now the new multinationals all over the world. And today, our banks can now syndicate billions of dollars for particular investors to be able to invest. That's when the private sector-led economy can begin. So our thesis is, if you want to change a persistent economic structure, change the underlying institutions. My former governor is here. I think his own bank, Fidelity. I don't know whether you could fund 5 billion naira worth of project then, but then afterwards I'm sure you could now do quite a whole lot. But let's get to the serious business, ladies and gentlemen. For the national economy, our thesis is that it will be difficult to have a competitive and prosperous post-oil economy of the future with additional hundreds of millions of Nigerians or citizens with a dwindling land space with the same legal institutional foundation designed for consumption of the oil you rent. You can build a 100-story building upon a foundation of an old bungalow. You can't. A post-oil economy requires that agents maximize their fullest potentials, and what is required will be a national rather than a federal response. You can't clap with one hand. We've been trying to implement policies or design policies by the federal government. This is a federation, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to clap with one hand. What we need, our focus is wealth creation in the future. If that focus is on wealth creation rather than sharing and consumption of oil rents, then, ladies and gentlemen, we need a new national business model. And I was sure that it is both issue of you are designing good ideas, good plans, but without the right or underlying infrastructure to carry those plans forward. It will be the thesis I will leave with you. And I will say the fundamental argument here, ladies and gentlemen, is that the link between law, constitution, institutions, and judiciary and the economic transformation seems to be the weakest link in our design of national agenda. The National Assembly, the Ministry of Justice, the states and other stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, in the future we need to get seriously down to work. I'll have a message for the elite, but I think let's ride on. I will say I haven't come here to read the book of lamentations about Nigeria's economic woes, nor have I come to sing the Song of David. For decades we have tried the transformation agenda which hasn't worked. But like I said, whether we are going to have 400 million Nigerians or 752 million Nigerians by the end of the century, within this tiny landmass, 923 square kilometers of land that is also declining due to desertification and erosion, we are going to have the highest population density in the world among the top 10 most populous countries.
Yes,
Lagos, as I said, 88 million people.
Dream,
and it's going to be a nightmare.
Where the foundation started. It's a dream.
By the way, it's our view that Lagos is clearly unsustainable in the long run and risky for its business concentration.
It's implementing everything you speak here.
But ladies and gentlemen, the world is not waiting for Nigeria.
Integration Nigeria.
We are on the world is on the fourth industrial revolution with digital economy, and we are struggling with the first stage of Rostow stages of growth. The rest of the world, with artificial intelligence together with the future technologies such as robotics, synthetic biology, computational science, quantum computing, 3D and 4D printing, internet.
I'm boiling about intellectuals has been more confusions. Their speech confusing me. When they're landing in a so stupid, the same thing the one who talk in the channel television. I don't understand these people. What is behind this? The threat of following me because their life is not safe. I want the world, FBI. I want every intellectual people in the world to understood kind of message. People will start talking the fact. At end, they go to this thing. So there is also something suspicious we have to look in behind that, above the whole country in general. But there's a truth already coming out by what is going on for Abakari. So everything will come to the point. Then I want to go to the point to explain British the possibility that to create a peace in the world and the possibility to be able to make things to happen, because Biafran people has only solution. Because why I'm saying this possibility, because our population of the Biafran people is bigger the population of the Ghana, bigger the population of Alish, bigger the population of Togo, bigger the population of Côte d'Ivoire, bigger the population of Sierra Leone, bigger the population of many peoples, I mean Biafran. So in the geographic map, the place you people recognize as a Biafran today, we know Biafran is worldwide. So it's also in the mandlab, it's too big. So this whole point, there's I don't understanding a sense of global Nigeria when that is not global. It's just like a clean up population collapse. You see, we call it global. What kind of global? It's a population collapse. People are dying every day without any speaker out about it. You see, it is Nigerian. But I think the first step of Mazen and the Kanu is dedicated the whole world. The whole world, they work carelessly. Work no legardedness. Just believe in the one common sense of that this life we are living can never be balanced. What we see as a black maple facing through all over the world. It doesn't matter the country they're born. I mean it. If you look at education of the platform of the Western people, you can see discrimination by the samples and things, implementing that the young children have started seeing differences when young children shouldn't know what is about color by the woman being. We will have to focus on the sense. So that is also this period have to be going on. So why? Because there's never any country, any people in Africa has come out to make things right. Or maybe like what Maznanka try to black people to be in the air, to black people to have their own country, black people to have their own institution. You know, it was a good balance to the Western people to stop many things like example issue of refugee, many things, issue of army struggle, issue of tribalism fight, issue of poverty, issue of unnecessary killing. You know,